Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan. I've been a trader for the last 13 plus years. We're going to check in on the market here as the semiconductors continue to be in euphoria mode, although I'm looking for some temporary tops in the sector. We're going to check in on everything and the key as to what will tell me there's a red flag in the market over the next couple of weeks.
All right, so as we know, the bulls are still in full control. Our guide, at least for the S&P 500 futures here, very simple, 4-hour EMA 12. If it's holding, nothing is changing. And there is an uptrending resistance line we can keep an eye on. Those have broken bullish plenty of times this year. But just keep it simple, 4-hour EMA 12. If we lose it, we zoom out, daily consolidation is underway, and we'll watch the daily uptrend as our guide from there. And here's our low, higher low, higher low. So we're going to be watching the daily uptrend, but I'm not even going to look at the daily chart until we lose 4-hour EMA 12. The most important thing for me in the next 2 weeks is what happens when the semiconductors start weekly consolidation. We know that's inevitable in the near term. It's coming sooner rather than later. And if when we see that consolidation, we get growth rotation into IWM, ARKK, and these names, then it's exactly what the bulls want to see. If when the semiconductors pull back, everything pulls back together, that's a bit of a red flag. That will tell us that money is leaving the market. So I'm going to be watching that very closely. That's going to give us information. That's the next major piece of information that's going to come from the market as a whole, looking at all the different major sectors. The NASDAQ, still very strong, tight daily range, broke bull yesterday, keeping the uptrend going today. Not much going on overall, and definitely shuffling going on as far as you look at Apple. Apple pulled back and was red today, and overall, you know, these Magnificent Seven, we had Amazon was red today, so a little bit of red there. Semiconductors held things up. Amazon volatility is coming. Can't get much tighter than that. Earnings reaction range. Traded within it now for 4 days. Keep an eye on a break of that range. But the story is the semiconductors. It continues to be. And it's been astounding. Just absolute euphoria, beast mode. And SMH, as we can see, hit the higher high more convincingly today. I've just been watching, of course, NVDA, which is all bull, all-time high the past couple of days. There was some profit taking at the end of the day, and we'll see if that's enough to start daily consolidation. So if we see a bear break of the low of today tomorrow, the next major level will be 663. And we look at the hourly, and we came close to hourly oversold back on Tuesday, but it has not happened yet. So I will be watching for the potential of hourly back burner bounces when we do get the start of clear daily consolidation. But a clear resistance zone here with extended hours, 709, 712, 709, 708 essentially. So that's the battleground right now. And the other names, ARM, congrats to the bulls. Earnings, just an absolute monster. And myself and Lori and Lamont, we've all been watching this name. And the reason we started really paying attention was way back here, bull flag right under all-time highs. And what we were saying was, we know that when we get to all-time highs, things can get fun. And the reward potential for bulls is there because of the lack of resistance. And just an absolute monster move. I personally sold my runner position before earnings. And you might think I'm looking at this move and feeling FOMO. Not in the slightest. It's been an extremely good 3 months for me. And so I had been taking my positions off pre-earnings to eliminate the gamble aspect of things. If I were looking to be more aggressive, then I would leave a runner, knowing that, you know, all right, worst case, I give back 10%, 20% move. But that's just the way I'm personally playing right now, and it's working for me. But I know some of you out there kept some ARM runners, so congrats on that. Just an absolute monster day. So we're going to look for hourly oversold conditions here as well. But again, keeping an eye out for consolidation, considering that move up. And lastly, SMCI is the other one I watch. Daily stair-step pattern, higher low every single day for the last 9 days. The gap up open days have been the ones where there's been some decent bearish day trades. And on a couple of those gap ups, I've been trading at bear and had some nice wins and tried to keep a runner. And the bulls just keep stopping me out of my runner because we don't lead into any kind of meaningful pullback. But again, keeping an eye out for the daily consolidation, which is inevitable in my opinion, And one thing I'm watching into tomorrow, knowing that, blue sky bulls can easily break rising wedges bullish, but I'm keeping an eye on this and looking for that to break, if not tomorrow, certainly Monday. But it's still bulls in full control. And it's just getting a bit too euphoric. So again, looking for that temporary top sooner rather than later. XLF, sideways, not really doing anything this week. The bulls are keeping control because we're keeping these little higher lows going, but it hasn't been a factor. And so again, when semiconductors pull back, what's XLF do? That's a little bit of information we're going to be looking for. But overall, holding on just fine for now. Grinding daily EMA 12. Healthcare has been leading the way. All-time highs pretty much the last 5 days in a row aside from today. And again, remember, it was this 2-month equilibrium that broke bull, and it reminded us of back here, just sideways range, new all-time highs. And so just a very strong longer-term chart, weekly bull flag into all-time high continuation, plenty of space for a daily high or low. Healthcare is definitely helping the broader market stay strong. Semiconductors are stealing the show, but healthcare is doing so as well. It's just not as flashy in terms of the size of the moves. IWM. So I went long IWM 2 days ago, on Tuesday, I believe. And my reasoning was, if you saw the video clip on Twitter to start the week where I said, this is what I'm watching for this week, it was keeping an eye out for semiconductor consolidation and watching for the potential of rotation into IWM. So on Tuesday, I shorted SCMI. I think it was Tuesday, yeah. And we had a nice drop. Again, it was a big, it was going really well. And back on Tuesday, from the high of the day to the low of the day, that's a 10% drop. Doesn't look like it on the daily chart. 9 point whatever. Doesn't look like it on the daily chart, but again, that's why I've been looking in both directions here, because here's another 6% pullback yesterday. So there's definitely opportunity in both directions, and that's why I'm watching. I'm going to be trying to have a short position for daily consolidation, looking for a 10 to 20% pullback, but we're just not ready yet. Anyways, Tuesday shorted SMCI. Took profit, then stopped out my runner, and longed IWM. And so now the question for IWM on the 2-day time frame, is this going to be an equilibrium? Are we going to fail resistance of 199.41 and keep tightening up? And I'm viewing this as a high, low, lower high, higher low. Are we going to set another lower high or not? That's the information that we're looking for over the next couple of days. And so, if we were to run, well, I've already taken some profit. My break even is around 190, 150 because of that profit taking. So overall, probably just going to sit tight and let this tightening range play out. But XBI telling us a break is coming. Look how tight it is. Again, just pull up. When's the last time XBI has been this tight over 3 weeks? And you're probably not going to be able to find it for years. So what does that mean? That means volatility is coming. I said the same thing for Bitcoin. Yesterday, I said, Bitcoin is going to break very soon, and volume and volatility are coming, because that was the tightest Bitcoin had been in months. Same thing for the biotech sector. Volume and volatility is coming. We are going to break this range probably within the next 3 days, I would say. The direction that IWM breaks that tightening 2-day range is likely going to have some significant implications in the direction that XBI breaks. But watching, because if it's a bull break, it's still very healthy. I mean, that's a weekly bull flag still at this point. So if I had to choose direction, I'm watching for a bull break, but let's see the direction the break takes place. And of course, ARKK, testing recent highs. Again, it too tightened up. A little bit of a bull move here. ARKW, bull break. Nice inverse head and shoulders. This was a swing report name that Lamont and I were keeping an eye on. And it's following through nicely. Right off weekly EMA 12. That's why we liked it. One of the reasons. It was also a back test. Lamont liked it. This is two different styles. Lamont liked it because of this previous resistance acting as support. I liked it because of weekly EMA 12. Let's see if we can get the bull flag confirmation to a higher high there. MARA, crypto stocks. So what? Again, we knew Bitcoin volatility was coming. So Tuesday night, Bitcoin is really tight. It's the tightest it's been in months, which means volatility is coming, which means MARA, Riot, and coin volatility is coming. So that's, what was that, Tuesday night? I forget. What did I just say? Tuesday night. And so yesterday, not much. Today, there's the bulls. So big time follow through and a longer term little uptrend confirming. And still going to watch for a lower high compared to 31.30, but negating the weekly bear flag. Tons of space for an hourly high or low. It was just a monster bull day. It was the most bullish and most volatile day that we've seen in weeks. Not surprising because of Bitcoin. Coin, another name. Look at this beautiful back test. Weekly time frame, resistance 116, 114. Remember we were looking for that to ignite the bulls and work with an area of lack of resistance. Now we back tested it and we bounced off of 118. We confirmed a bear flag with zero follow through and bounced off of 114. And now the bulls need to break 137 to prove some follow through here, keeping in mind earnings are next week. And MARA divided by Riot shows us MARA is still stronger than Riot. They've been doing mostly the same thing, but MARA is stronger. The dollar. Daily bull flag attempt. If we drop down and break 103.94, that'll be a failed daily bull flag, and that will then have us watching for weekly consolidation. It loves stair steps. The dollar loves just going in one direction and then, having complete control. Pretty much a straight shot move with some bear flags or bull flags along the way. So another stair step move the last 6 weeks, and still watching for the possibility of a weekly inverse head and shoulders, but the monthly high or low is set. We knew that was the most likely scenario, and now we're watching for eventually a monthly lower high to potentially tighten up to start this year. But bulls have short-term control at the moment. The metals, I like the gold weekly chart for clarity. Just a tightening equilibrium here. Must hold $2,000 now. And you can see we had our high, low, lower high, higher low, maybe another lower high quickly forming here. Got to see the dollar enter weekly consolidation if gold is going to have a chance to break this bullish. Silver has been weaker, not the case today, but a lot of work to do. Silver hasn't been doing anything for years. Look at this range on the monthly chart. An entire year of nothing. And the miners have been clearly weaker. Monthly lower high set, have to form a monthly higher low, but there's no sign of it. It all boils down to gold has to break that tightening range bullish and head back towards the all-time high. Oil, big bull day today. So it's been chopping around a good bit. Big bear drop, big bull recovery. Viewing this as a low, high, higher low. Anything under 79.29 would just be a lower high to keep tightening up. So watching for that to be a possibility. We know we scout equilibriums as most likely once we get a significant amount of volatility in two directions. Just like back here. Higher low, lower high, higher low. And it was an equilibrium. So watching for something similar here. But overall, big picture, watching for an eventual monthly lower high on oil as well. And then probably in a couple of months from now, we're going to look for this range to break and oil will get volatile again. But it could take, obviously it could happen at any point. But if I had to guess, I would say maybe another 3 months of tightening up. Wild guess. And natural gas, weekly stair step up, weekly stair step down, inside bar bear break. Bear's still in full control. Again, just we haven't proved anything for the bulls on the weekly chart this entire time. So we're just looking down at supports. And, we can draw downtrend resistance lines to be keeping an eye on just as visual guides. I don't like that. Let's stick with prices. Even if we hold support on any bounce, anything under 2855 is just a lower high, just like this last bounce, nice and big, just a lower high. Bulls are not proving anything on longer term time frames in natural gas. All right, keep an eye on those semiconductors. I'm going to do a cannabis only video now, so that'll be on our YouTube channel as well. Do good things, hope you're well.